She broke every scoring record in college basketball history. She transformed the WNBA into a ratings juggernaut overnight. Now, while the league she revolutionized sits paralyzed in labor negotiations that threaten to cancel her third season, Caitlin Clark is doing something unexpected, trading her Indiana Fever jersey for an NBC Sports microphone, analyzing the NBA at Madison Square Garden. This isn't just a superstar dabbling in broadcasting. This is a calculated chess move by a 24-year-old who's rewriting the rules of women's basketball, and it might be the most brilliant strategic pivot in modern sports history. On January 27, 2026, NBC Sports dropped a bombshell. Caitlin Clark, the face of women's basketball, the player who single-handedly turned WNBA games into must-watch television, was joining NBC Sports as a special contributor for Basketball Night in America. She wouldn't be relegated to some minor studio show. She would be joining Maria Taylor and NBA legends Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady on the pregame show before Sunday Night Basketball. Her debut? February 1st, 2026, at Madison Square Garden before the Lakers take on the Knicks. That's the mecca of basketball. That's LeBron James at the world's most famous arena. That's primetime, maximum spotlight, impossible to ignore television. To understand why this move is significant, you need to understand the precarious moment Clark finds herself in. The WNBA and Players Union have been locked in collective bargaining agreement negotiations for over 15 months. The previous CBA expired January 13, 2026. The two sides remain at an impasse on salary structures, revenue sharing, and player benefits. The league needs a new CBA by February to start the season on time. That deadline is now days away. Training camps remain unscheduled. Caitlin Clark made approximately $114,000 from her WNBA salary in 2025, while pulling in $16 million from endorsements. That's a 99, 3% to 0, 7% split. She's the most underpaid superstar in professional sports relative to her market value. Rather than sit idle during negotiations she has no control over, Clark is maintaining public visibility, diversifying income, building fallback options, and leveraging her brand. It's smart business and proactive career management. And it might be sending a message to the WNBA: I don't need you as much as you need me. The brutal truth is the WNBA desperately needs Caitlin Clark. She's the league's biggest star, its primary marketing vehicle, its best hope for mainstream relevance. If the 2026 season is canceled, the WNBA loses crucial momentum. But Clark? She'll be fine analyzing NBA games and collecting endorsement checks. NBC Sports isn't bringing Clark aboard out of charity. They're making a calculated business decision. Clark brings massive audience. Her Iowa College games routinely drew 3 to 5 million viewers. She has crossover appeal that transcends women's basketball. Everything Clark does becomes content. Her presence will generate social media buzz, highlight clips, and conversation. NBC's new NBA rights package needs differentiation from ESPN's entrenched coverage. Clark provides exactly that, a unique voice ESPN can't match. NBC paid billions for NBA broadcasting rights. They need Sunday Night Basketball to become appointment television. Bringing Clark aboard isn't a gimmick. It's recognizing that she brings credibility as an elite player, fresh perspective as someone still actively competing, crossover appeal, and marketing buzz that money can't buy. To appreciate what Clark brings, you must understand what she accomplished at Iowa. She didn't just play college basketball, she transformed it into a cultural phenomenon. Her 3,951 career points is the NCAA Division I all-time scoring record. Her 548 three-pointers is the career record. She's the first player in Division I history with 3,800-plus points, 1,000-plus assists, and 950-plus rebounds. The 2024 NCAA Women's Championship game drew 1 million viewers, the most watched basketball game in 5 years. She sold out arenas wherever Iowa played. She made people care about women's basketball who had never cared before. She proved that with the right talent, marketing, and platform, women's sports could command massive audiences. Clark's professional career has been more complicated. She won 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year, set rookie records for points and assists, and recorded the first triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. But her 2025 season was derailed by injuries. She appeared in just 13 games before a groin injury ended her season. Now she's healthy and ready to bounce back, but the entire 2026 season hangs in the balance. Clark's NBC role carries cultural weight. For decades, the assumption has been that men can analyze women's sports, but women analyzing men's sports require special justification. Clark's presence challenges that double standard. Her basketball IQ doesn't diminish because she's analyzing men instead of women. If she proves she can offer insightful NBA analysis, it undermines the notion that gender determines basketball expertise. Young girls who dream of basketball careers need to see paths forward beyond just playing. Seeing Clark analyzing NBA games alongside legends shows what's possible and creates practical roadmaps for others to follow. When Clark makes her debut, February 1st at Madison Square Garden, key questions will be answered. Can she handle technical analysis of NBA basketball? Will she hold her own with Hall of Fame legends? Can she navigate gender dynamics and potential skepticism? Does she have broadcast charisma? What unique perspective does she bring that retired NBA players can't? Her performance will be heavily scrutinized not just as individual evaluation, but as a statement about women in sports media. Clark faces legitimate challenges. Some will argue she should focus exclusively on her WNBA career. Despite her brilliance, skeptics will question whether she has sufficient experience to analyze NBA basketball. There's risk her presence is viewed as tokenism rather than merit-based hiring. Some might view this as abandoning the WNBA. And broadcasting requires extensive preparation that adds workload to professional basketball training. But if history is any guide, betting against Caitlin Clark is unwise. Her basketball IQ is elite, her competitive drive is legendary, and her understanding of media and branding is sophisticated beyond her years. Success looks different depending on the timeline. Short-term success means solid analysis on her February debut and NBC expanding her role. Medium-term success means balancing dual careers, with her media income approaching her WNBA salary by 2028. Long-term success means transitioning to full-time broadcasting around age 30, becoming NBC's lead basketball analyst, and normalizing women as primary voices in basketball media. This NBC opportunity represents strategic career management, gender barrier breaking, and media industry evolution. When Clark sits at that table on February 1st, she'll be doing more than basketball commentary. She'll be writing the next chapter of her remarkable career, demonstrating what's possible for female athletes in media, and potentially reshaping assumptions about gender and opportunity in sports broadcasting. The ultimate victory would be her work becoming so normalized that her gender stops being part of the story, when she's simply evaluated as a basketball analyst who happens to be a woman. Whether this becomes a brief off-season experiment or the foundation of a decades-long broadcasting career remains to be seen. But what's clear is that Caitlin Clark has never been content with simply accepting the opportunities presented to her. She's consistently pushed boundaries, exceeded expectations, and created possibilities that didn't exist before she arrived. The most exciting part? She's just getting started.